have a question. Which is the real booty? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming a pretty exciting video. I've always wanted to film something like this for a very long time, but I never had the chance or the time to, or I probably was procrastinating and never really filmed it, but I have to film it today, so that's why I'm doing it right now. I also have some space buns going on. I kind of wanted to do like a little different hairstyle, switch things up a bit. But anyway, without further ado, let's dive into this video. So the first squishies I'm going to be kind of comparing are these two squishies right here, and this is the Bunny's Cafe ones. If you can take a guess right now, which one do you think is the real one and which one is the fake one? If you picked this one as the real one and this one as the fake one, you are correct. So let's actually look at them side by side. As you can tell right away, there is a huge difference in the pink shade. This is obviously a lighter pink, whereas this one is a darker pink. And for the strawberries, this one has a ombre effect to it, whereas this one is just a plain red, which is kind of not very cute. This one looks very realistic. You can also notice that the hands on the real one are actually more three-dimensional, so it looks like it's actually holding a strawberry, whereas this one is kind of flat to its stomach. The arms aren't very popping out like that. Some flaws to this squishy is that the hearts of the feet are not very centered, and the head of this one is a lot more of an oval shape, whereas this one is a more like a circular shape, making it look more cute. And the eyes, you can tell that it's very far apart for this one as well. Right off the bat, you can tell that this one has the licensing on the back of its head, whereas this one doesn't. Another flaw that I want to point out is that this one doesn't have a bunny tail, and bunnies are supposed to have tails, so that just like takes away from the cuteness of all of it. So obviously the real one is a lot more slow rising. They also both have different materials, so this is kind of like a more firm texture, and you can kind of feel like the roughness of the paint job, which kind of shows that it has a high quality squishy. If I were to pick a squishy that I would keep in my collection, I'd choose the real one because it's a lot more cuter and the quality is a lot more better, I would say. Although this one can get defected pretty easily, I would actually prefer this to be in my collection rather than this one because this one ain't cute. So the next ones I'm going to be comparing are these two owl donuts, and guess which one is the real one and which one is the fake one. If you guessed this one as the real one and this one as the fake one, you are correct. The first thing I noticed right off the bat is that these two have a huge size difference. Besides the size difference, you can tell that the shading of the colors are different as well. This one's a more vibrant pink color, whereas this one is kind of like a little pinkish purple. The design is pretty much the same, except this one does not have the white dots that the real one has. And where are the ears? This one has a little triangle, but the ears are actually in the back, so that's a flaw. Honestly, I think they printed the face on the wrong side. If it wasn't like that obvious, I'd probably choose the fake one over the real one. This one looks more like a realistic donut, whereas this one is just a plain pink one all the way around, which doesn't add a very nice touch to it. So let's give them a squish. You can obviously tell that the jumbo one is a lot more slow rising than the smaller one. If I were to pick one, I'd choose the real one just because it's a lot bigger in size, plus it has a lot better paint job and quality. I also love the idea of it being a different shade on the back because it looks like a real donut. So yeah, I choose this one. Okay, these next ones might be a little bit tricky for you guys, but which one do you think is the fake one and which one do you think is the real one? If you chose this one as the real one and this one as the fake one, guess what? You're wrong! These are the real ones. Joke's on you. Okay, that was a joke, guys. Let's get back to the actual squishies. So, if you chose this one as the real one and this one as a fake one, you're correct. Honestly, don't be fooled by the packaging because they actually both look pretty legit, but this one actually has a little tag. And this one, it's kind of by the company Eric, which makes a lot of good replica squishies. So I probably wouldn't like put my bet on this kind of packaging, I guess. So like I said, this is the real one and this is the fake one. If you kind of look at it side by side, you can kind of notice like a difference in how the swirls are. So if I put it next to each other, the swirls don't really line up. I would say that this one is a lot more wider, whereas this one is a lot more rounder, making it a lot more thicker. You obviously can't tell right on the camera, but this one has an actually like softer touch to it, and this one has a lot more firmer. So technically this one feels more like a marshmallow, and this one's kind of like a piece of foam, which it actually is, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? So let's do the squishiness. They're actually pretty much the same, but no, the real one is actually a lot more squishier and slow rising. If I were to choose one, I'd choose the fake one because they look pretty much the same, you know, and like you're getting pretty much the same squishy for a lower and cheaper price. This one, it does have a pretty nice packaging because it looks more authentic with the tag, but if I were to just choose the squishy itself, the fake one would win. Alright, so moving on to the next ones, I'm going to be comparing these two, and it might be a little bit tricky if you look at a distance. Trying to hide my face so it doesn't focus on me. Okay, so which one do you think is the real one and which one do you think is the fake one? If you chose this one as the real one and this one as the fake one, you are correct. So if you're mainly focusing on the face of the cat, you can tell that this one has a more nicer design, and this one has like the nose and the whiskers and all that, but this one is just like a plain eye with like no mouth and no nose, but the clouds are actually pretty similar. Like, look at that. The faces, you know, proportionally. This one is a lot more bigger, and this is a lot more like smaller. This is a lot more softer. This is a lot more firmer, kind of like showing like the higher quality squishies. If you flip them around, the real one has a nicer realistic cat design, whereas this one is just all blue. It doesn't have the different lighter blue shade or the lines on the back. The texture of the cloud, however, is very similar, but of course, when you squish it, you can tell that they have different quality. So let's see the squishiness of them both. So you can tell that the fake one is a lot more squishier than the real one. Still popping up. So if I were to choose one, I'd choose the real one off of the fake one because this one is so much cuter, so much more realistic, and the quality is a lot more denser. And I don't know, you can tell that this one doesn't get very defected too easily. Not to mention, this squishy also comes with a super cute packaging because just look at that. It comes with a tag and a little gold ball chain with the bell. It's just super adorable. Alright, so the next squishies I'm going to be comparing are these two bear chefs, or chef bears, whatever you want to call it. They're both holding a cake and it's really cute. So which one do you think is the real one and which one is the fake one? If you said this one was the real one and this one is the fake one, you are correct. So the real one actually comes with two different colors. I have the brown one, the other design is a yellow one, and this one is kind of like a weird green color. I actually couldn't find a very similar color for the replica, but this is what it looks like. So obviously you can tell that they have different colors, but the sizing is actually pretty the same. Like, they're very, very similar in size, you know? Like, that's pretty insane. Aside from the color difference, since this one is obviously like, no, it's just an ugly color. The eyes on the fake one, you can't really see the white dot in it a little bit. You can tell that the quality of the strawberry cake on the real one is a lot more nicer, and the paint job is so much better on the real one too. So, in terms of squishiness, ooh, they're pretty close. But of course the real one actually slowed down a bit. So if I were to choose one as the winner, I would choose the real one, not because of how cute and adorable and high quality this is, but it's also actually pretty affordable, not crazy expensive as the fake one. Plus the fake one had a really weird color to it. I would prefer like an actual bear color rather than a green bear color, but if you're into green, then don't take this seriously. Also, not to mention, the real one actually has like a baby powder scent to it, whereas this one actually doesn't have a scent to it. So scents are a plus as well. Alright, so the next one are these two cakes. They're actually like strawberry cakes, so they're both yellow, which is a plus too. So which one do you think is the real one and which one do you think is the fake one? If you guessed this one as the real one and this one as a fake one, you are correct. So sizing is obviously very, very different. This is a lot more bigger and this is like a mini one. You can tell that the coloring is different too. This is a lot darker yellow. This is like kind of a pastel lemon yellow. These strawberries, I guess you can say, aligned the same way. The tips of the strawberries here are very dull and this is like very sharp. The real one has a lot more of a realistic texture, whereas this one doesn't. And of course you can tell that this one it's not a complete cake without, you know, the base of it being colored. And this one also has the licensing as well. So this is actually the Sammy the Patissier or Christmas cake, and this one is just an Eric replica basically. Now in terms of squishiness, as you can see, the real one isn't very slow rising as the fake one. I don't know, the fake one is just a lot more softer. This is a lot more stiff, but actually this one has like a little magnet inside so you can stick the Sammy character. If I were to choose one for in terms of squishiness and quality, because this isn't bad quality, I would choose the fake one. Alright, so the next ones are going to be these Yummiibears, and this is actually kind of tragic. But anyway, which one do you think is the real one and which one is the fake one? If you said this one was a real one and this one as a fake one, you are correct. Again, if you've been getting it right. Okay, first off, I'm pretty sure everyone knows how a Yummiibear looks like. It does not look like this. It looks like this. The sizing difference is very, very big of the poo actually. The body is pretty similar, but you can tell that the poo size is a lot more nicer than this one. The pattern and design of the watermelon is so much nicer too. I don't even know what this is. A watermelon does not look like this. The face is very different as well, and the shading. This is a lot more whiter, and this is like a more yellowy color. On the back, they actually both have tails this time. This one actually is kind of flat. It's just like a little small bump, but this one has a little tushy. And of course, the real one is licensed by Creamy Candy. So let's see the squishiness. Yummiibear wins on the squishiness. They actually both have different types of squishy material too. This is a lot more softer, this is a lot more denser, but you can tell it's higher quality. So if I were to pick one, I'd choose the real one, of course. It's so much better and it's so much cuter. Plus, it smells really good. Alright, so next up I have these two snowy polar bear squishies. So which one do you think is the real one and which one is the fake one? If you chose this one as the real one and this one as a fake one, you are correct. So I kind of struggled to find a white one of the replica just because it's kind of hard to, but I know they have a white one of this, so forgive me if this is not the right color. So the mouth is the biggest difference that I noticed. This is more like a smile and this one's more like a, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it's really emotive. It's not the cutest. Short difference too. The hands, they're actually pretty similar, but yeah, there's nothing really bad about the fake one, to be honest, except for the color job. Like, where's the rest of his shirt? Is he wearing like a crop top or something? So let's see in terms of squishiness. Ooh, they're both pretty squishy, but the replica wins! If I were to choose one, I'd choose the real one, of course. Not only does it smell like grapes, and it's scented, it's a lot more cuter, and just more fun to squish. Okay, so I have a question. Which is the real booty? If you chose this one as a real one and this one as a fake one, you are correct. I'm actually pretty surprised by how glossy they both are. So you can tell that there is a difference in coloring, but the size is actually the same. Like, that's insane. Like, oh my god. So of course this one doesn't have like a brown stem color to it, and it doesn't have like the pink around it. The booty shape, you know, very, very round and perky, like we like it. The bottom, the ombre is very harsh on the fake one, whereas the real one is a lot more blended and looks more juicy. Look, it's on the booty. Okay, so in terms of squishiness, guess who won? The real booty. Obviously there's a really big price difference as iBloom squishies, especially peaches, are very expensive, but if I were to pick one, I'd probably choose the real one because it smells like peaches, which is like mouth-watering. The only con about this is that it gets defected really easily, but you know, if you want like a nice peach, I definitely go for the real iBloom. Plus it's a lot more squishier than this one. But of course, if you're saving on a budget, I definitely recommend the fake one just because it is the same and it's not that bad. It kind of has like a little fast pop-up, but it's a pretty good quality squishy too. Plus you don't have to worry about it getting defected. Alright, so that concludes my video. I'm so happy I finally got this through. I just need to edit it, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and if you are new to my channel and you haven't been subscribed to me already, make sure to subscribe and also turn on that post notifications bell so that you know whenever I upload. Also, give this video a big thumbs up if you like watching these kind of videos, because I personally do, especially when I'm deciding which one is worth it and which one is not. So anyway, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye guys!